Okay, hi. Let's see. I looked like I was in a fight, but I wasn't. Well, I was kind of in a fight with my emotions. I'm gonna sit further back from the camera. Um, so anyway, I had a healing yesterday, and the stuff that I channeled before she came, I was gonna do a video on, but I didn't have time. And then she came, I gave the healing, and then she forgot her notes, luckily, so I'm going to share the notes with you, but, well, yeah, I guess that'll be in order. This is how I'm going to do it. Okay, so this person, she gave me permission to share with you guys this stuff that comes out of me for her, from her guides or whoever. Okay, she overtries. She has this thing. She overtries as a guard against failure because she has a huge fear of failure, which brings to her more of what? Through the law of attraction, more failure. So we'll go over law of attraction. Or, Esther Hicks videos are great. You can get those on YouTube for free. You can watch. And also she goes and speaks. And I got to see her in person once, so that's an awesome thing to do. So law of attraction videos are great on YouTube. I'll probably do my own at some point with you guys, but so this person overtries as a guard against failure. Some of this stuff doesn't help you. Okay, so basically she had a couple things happen, once when she was 6, once when she was 5, sad things, and then she decided that she was gonna not be sad anymore. So what she does is when sadness comes up, she would change it. She would, so anything that makes her sad, and she actually did it while she was on the table too. So sadness came up, and then she immediately went into the feelings and emotions of the other person. So there was one point she was sad that her mom wasn't with her, and then immediately she went into, well, my mom was letting me have my own time and space, and so what that does for her or any of us that do that is it basically invalidates our feelings. So anyway, so I did this healing on this person, and she needs, so what her guides wanted her to do was to validate her feelings and feel them for like 5 minutes, even if you set a timer for 5 minutes, and just let sadness be sadness. And it's so funny because I had my friend Lisa, who actually I've made her watch every video. And after the first one, she said it was really good. She's probably lying, but because of her thinking that it's really good, it's giving me more confidence to keep going and do these. So I really hope these videos help somebody. Well, more people. But anyway, okay, so you got it. Now, I did this healing on this person. We went through sadness or whatever. I cried with her a little bit through the healing because it helps move the energy through her and it moves it through me. But it's, when I cry with a client, it's fast, so you can get through quick to move to the next thing. Okay. So what we did with her, and this might work for you if you want to try this, So anything that I give you to try, it's great to try. But then everybody has an inner guru, say, so your true self, your true nature. So you can start with these, it's kind of like games, but like tricks or like ways of doing something. Start with that, and then maybe your true self will give you a new way to do it. And so if that pops up for you, then definitely go with that, because your true self is the guru. Okay, so for her, she needs to let her feelings stay her feelings, stop changing them and invalidating those feelings. When people invalidate themselves, they can often get migraines. Okay, so what we did was we let her feel sadness. We brought up things that bring up sadness, and then I had her mentally create a box, and And it could be any size box that looks kind of like a Christmas package, or Hanukkah, or Kwanzaa, whatever. So a beautiful box wrapped with a beautiful bow, could be any color, any size, okay? And then her sadness we put her sadness in that box, that beautiful gift. And our emotions are gifts, even though they don't feel like gifts often. So then for in the future, when something comes up and she feels the sadness, she can just set a timer for like 5 minutes, and you guys can do this too. Try it. You set a timer on your phone for 5 minutes, or your stove, and you just meditate and hold that box of sadness to your heart. Okay, so what they said was, when sadness is appropriate, you'll meditate on holding the box of sadness to give you a protection from it, almost like telling someone else's story, but you'll be able to experience it from a safe place, like a hypnotherapy session. But you'll be honest with yourself about your actual emotions, experiencing them, the true emotions, sitting with it, and processing it in real time. Instead of, like, this is what they showed me, instead of like opening a full closet, throwing something in really quick, and then slamming the door before everything falls out. Oh. Okay, so that's what she had been doing. Oh, she took that page. All right. So they showed me, like, I put some doTERRA cilantro oil in my hand, which is the oil of surrender. I'm going to go over that someday, but so sadness would come up for her, and she's like, "Oh, yeah, no, I don't want to do this." So it's like she opened this, in a cartoon when the character opens a closet door, throws something in and slams it, because if they open it, all the stuff just falls out. So that's kind of what she's got, this closet, and there's sadness and other things, anger, on and on, any negative emotions that you really don't want to feel. You just take the time. You can imagine a closet. You can imagine, sadness all over. Let's say you're doing the sadness first. So you imagine sadness all over in the closet. And I don't remember the woman's name. Oh, I wish I could, because she's amazing. But she wrote The Magical Art of Tidying Up. Marie Kondo, I believe. And Target sells a little book. It was like 30% off, and it's just called Sparking Joy. And if you buy that book, Sparking Joy, it's like a condensed, it's like Cliff's Notes for the Magical Art of Tidying Up. And she has you take everything of the same category, put it in a pile. So like if you're doing your clothes, take all your clothes from all over the place, put them in a pile, and then you figure out what sparks joy by holding it to your heart. And if it sparks joy, you keep it. And if it doesn't spark joy, you discard it. But before you discard it, you thank it for, being part of your life. It's very cool. I did it with my kids with their toys, because it's October 25th now. We did this like a week ago or 2 weeks ago. So early October, had my kids, I took all their toys from all over the house, put them in a pile for my son, a pile for my daughter, and then taught them the Spark Joy thing. And they got rid of at least half of their stuff, because I told them that, some kids don't have houses and Santa can't visit them, so it's up to us to give those kids toys. And all of our toys are in good shape. It's not like broken, nasty, discard. It's like decent toys, minimal wear and tear. And I first sat my kids down and I said, okay, we're going to do this exercise, and you're going to help these kids that Santa can't visit for some reason. And I don't want you to keep a toy because of an emotional attachment, because you'll always have the, memory of playing with it. So don't just keep it because you loved it when you were 2. And don't just keep it because I gave it to you, or Dad gave it to you, or Pappy gave it to you. And don't keep it because you just got it last week and it's brand new, and so, So really only keep what sparks joy. You could have gotten a toy brand new yesterday, or don't keep it because it costs a lot or whatever. So only keep what sparks joy. And we filled this huge bag, and I'm so proud of them. But in the same way that you do that, you can do this with your emotional closet. So if you, and so our minds are very powerful, as we know. So you take this emotional closet with all the crap in it, and you could do one emotion at a time, where you just imagine that you open the door and you pull all the sadness and put that in a pile. And you just sit with that pile, you know. Let's do it. If you want to. You can close your eyes, take a deep breath in through your nose. And exhale slowly through your mouth. When you're going to focus on your tailbone, grow a root to the center of the earth, wrapping gently around the earth. Let your body make any little movements it needs, because your body knows exactly what to do to let go of stagnant energy. So your head may shake gently, or your shoulders may move around, or you may feel a shudder. You may yawn, which is awesome, because that's clearing, yawning, burping, whatever. Your body's so smart. Okay. Now you can go to just imagine any closet, any kind of door. It's so beautiful or ugly. It doesn't matter. Whatever you want to imagine, this closet full of these old emotions that you don't want anymore. You don't want to carry them around. Just keep breathing while I tell you something. So keep breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. And now in your heart, just open. I open now to receive healing in my highest best interest from Carla. I open now to receive healing in my highest best interest. So open in your heart to receive healing from me. While you do this exercise, just open and receive healing in your own highest best interest. Okay. Keep receiving while I tell you. When people have trauma, they keep the bad in. They won't let the bad out, and they keep the good from coming in. So they won't let the good in. So it's like a fence that does the opposite of what you want it to do. So if you could now ask that all your bad, and I know it's a judgment, but this for the point of the exercise, it's much easier and quicker to go like this. Good. Ask sincerely in your heart, please take all my bad out of my heart, out of my energy field, out of my body. Transmute it into love, peace, and harmony. And integrate it into my oneness. At the same time, please remove any barriers to good, any barriers to love or anything positive. Please remove all those barriers. And allow the good to pour in, healing me and refreshing me, washing and cleaning anything and everything in my highest best interest. And so it is. And now we're just going to set the intention for that to continue as we go through this exercise. And now you're going to go to your closet. And I want you to take one moment to deeply and completely love and accept yourself and be grateful for yourself to take this, however many minutes this ends up being, to do this work for yourself. Let your body go. Let all your internal organs fall. Gravity's going to take care of everything. So just let your eyes, jaw, and shoulders relax. Let your internal organs go. Let your internal organs just relax and fall. And as they do, they get cleaned and washed of any stress or anxiety you've ever felt in your entire life. Just deeply, completely loving and accepting yourself completely, knowing that you've done the best you can. Maybe not every second of your life, but for the most part, good. And at some point I'm going to do a singing mantra with you, but it's basically just thank you. No, it's I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. So you can just go through that if you want. You can say it to yourself. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Okay, I'll go to the closet. Let's do sadness first. Take all the sadness out of your closet, put it in a pile mentally in front of you. Maybe gather it up in your arms, all your sadness into your arms. And you're holding it next to your heart. You're just going to feel it for just a couple minutes. Just let it permeate you. Let it swirl around inside you. We're going to take it out. We're going to put it in a box. But first, feel it. You need to feel the sadness because you need to see that it's okay and it's not going to kill you. You need to enjoy that sadness. Enjoy it as a gift. It's a gift. You're just going to play with it for a couple minutes here. I don't have any music, so I'm just going to sing the mantra real quick. I hope I'm not making it worse for you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Okay. Now you're going to lovingly, everything is done with love. Everything we do is done with love. It's the only way it actually works. You're going to remove all that sadness from your entire body, from the top of your head, through your eyes, your whole heart, your whole body cavity, your legs, arms. And you're going to put it in a beautiful box. You're going to wrap that box in whatever color paper. It can be shiny. If you're having a hard time, you can use my colors. It's gold, shiny paper, like sparkly gold. And then a dark green bow. Beautiful package. And you're going to hold that box next to your heart. Make sure all the sadness leaves your body in all directions of time, from before you were even born. All the sadness goes in this box. It may be a big box, and that's okay. And this is your sadness. You're grateful to this box of sadness that you can have an experience with sadness, leaving sadness as it is, not switching it, and validating. So what this box does for you, it validates your true emotions. It gives you an experience with that true emotion. You don't need to change it. You value it as it is. You validate yourself, saying it's okay for me to be sad. Burping is also a release. It's just a bigger release for me than yawning. So, as I do healing work, I kind of look like someone with no manners. Okay, so that's how you're going to do it. And then you're just going to, whenever you're ready, you're going to put the box of sadness down, and then you can do anger. But each emotion you want to do, you're just going to take it out of the closet, put it on the pot, put it in a pile in front of you. You're going to have an experience with it. With music is better than probably me singing, but whatever. And then just put it in a beautiful box. And then when that emotion comes up in real life, as you go through. You don't have to let it tear you apart. You don't have to let it run you or rule you or make you react. Let's say you get angry with someone. Instead of reacting to them, you just hold the anger box. But you let yourself experience the emotion. I mean, you don't have to let the anger rule you, like I said, make your head hot and make you say stuff that you're not going to want to have consequences for, You just hold that anger box and you validate your emotion and you say, yeah, it's okay for me to be angry, in your head, not out loud. It gets you look kind of crazy, but you can, imagine yourself in an angry position, and then you just look at the person and you validate to yourself in your head, I'm angry and that's okay. I'm allowed to feel angry. I'm feeling anger toward this person. Let me just hold my anger box in your mind. If you can get away for a couple minutes, 2 to 5 minutes, and just you just hold your anger box next to your heart. So you have an experience with the actual emotion. That's the whole key. You need to have an honest experience. Be honest with yourself about the actual emotion. Experience it, the true emotion. Sit with it, and process it in real time. Okay? Now, I did that healing on the woman with sadness. That was her big part of the healing. It wasn't the whole thing, of course. So then today, less than 24 hours later, it unlocked something in me, because when I, healing people heals me. So, I don't even know how it started. Oh, I got guided to watch this episode of Grey's Anatomy, where Meredith dies and her mother dies, and on and on. Oh God, I hope I didn't ruin it for anybody. I hope I didn't ruin it for you. I don't know how to edit, so I don't edit these videos, but you could probably tell that by now. I just send the one I do first, so. My mom died, and at the time, my mom went through a lot. My mom actually died and came back to life once, and I was in training at United Airlines, and I left training to come back, and I was over halfway through 727 school to be a flight engineer, and that's a really hard, intense job and intense training. I was over halfway through. I went back to the hospital. I went to the hospital. That's where I saw that woman do Reiki for the first time. And I was like, how do I know what you're doing? This is weird. But my mom died and came back to life. And she told me all about it. She told me she saw a light. And she felt warm finally for the first time in years. And she felt at peace. And she wanted to stay. And she remembers choosing to stay, but then she came back to, the physical world, and she said, I don't even know why I'm back here. And I said, well, maybe just so you could tell us about it, so then when you really die, we won't worry about it so much. And I knew instantly, I could feel instantly when I said it that was the truth. Anyway, my mom had a long battle. I may end up talking about it later, but when she actually died, I was in Miami, and I came back, and you have to do all the stuff, and I thought I was doing a good job with handling my emotions and being, really, really going through it, but I didn't, there was so much to do, there were so many things to do. When my mom died and came back to life the first time, my brother had just been in a coma from an attack in Boston, and he didn't have his memory back, and it was just a crazy, crazy thing. And then my fiance, all in the same year, I had my brother, my fiance, and my mom all in comas, and they all came out of it. My mom actually came out of it before she died. But around her death, there was so much going on that this is going to sound terrible, and I'm just being honest, and I thought I was handling everything, but in flying, we compartmentalize a lot. So pilots all have I think a high degree of being able to compartmentalize what's happening in their personal life so that they can just focus on the plane and the procedures and everything. So I didn't realize, and then so my mom died April 25th, 2001. Okay, and then 9/11 hit, and I flew the airplanes that hit the building. So I was on the 7576 for United Airlines, and I flew New York to LA on September 10th, 2001. So the day before, I was out in California. So my mom had just died in April, the end of April, and then May, June, and then 5 months or so later, 9/11 happens, and it was just like one thing after another. So I was still kind of numb when my mom passed, and then 9/11 happened, and then the company started laying people off, and then I got laid off 3/3/03, March 3rd, 2003. Then after that, I lost my house, my car. Well, I didn't lose my car, I didn't lose my house, but I had to sell them. I couldn't keep them. So I was really lucky that I got to sell my house, sell my car, and then there was this relationship that just killed me. Okay, so I just kind of felt like, when can I come up for air type of thing. So then, after experiencing the sadness with this client yesterday, and I'm doing spiritual life coach certification. So all summer it was a cry fest for me this year because I just was feeling my healing feelings that I thought I had already felt. So anyway, this huge doorway opened up today for me. That's why I look like I do. Just cried. Now I know what heart-wrenching. I mean, I've cried heart-wrenching, but this was like, I think I might pass out from lack of oxygen. Where was I going to go with this? I swear to God. All right. I don't know where I was going with it. Oh, so, and I put my mom had these little tank tops that were like basically pieces. So I have a little tank top of my mom's on. And I guess that's it from that. But the lady whose healing I did yesterday had I guess it would be her great-grandmother, I think, at least one great, who came to give her some information. And this woman that I did the healing on is a great mother. She's amazing. But she's always trying to be a better mom. So this woman was all about kids. I could feel this great grandmother of hers, all about the kids. And so my client had questions for this woman about, raising kids. And I wanted to share with you what this person who passed shared with her great-granddaughter. Okay. So the question was, the client wonders if she's doing the right thing. And so the great-grandmother showed me that she'll feel that the client will feel like wanting to take away an iPad. This was the example that she showed me. You want to take the iPad away, and maybe she does say it, like, that's enough iPad time for now, and then the kid just blows it off, like, doesn't listen, blows it off, keeps playing. This grandmother said, go from the first pang, like the first time she's like, oh, that's enough iPad, that's enough, that's enough. So that would be like the first pang. The first pang means it's the first, it's like the gut instincts, like your heart says, okay, that's enough, he's got to get off the iPad now. At that moment, with the first pang, there's no emotion about it. It's just like, this is the way it is, it's clear. And expect compliance. Okay, so this grandmother was telling me that even though the woman says that's enough iPad, she basically expects the kid not to comply. She expects her son to blow her off. Okay? Then it gets to a point where she gets pissed and she says, look, I told you 5 times now, get off the iPad, da 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 da. So she gets angry. So her grandmother's telling her, go from the first pang and expect compliance. Just like, that's enough iPad, take it away. And then she shared with me, a woman who passed, she says, in the old days, we were too busy. Kids had to do their chores when asked or supposed to. They had to do their chores when they were asked to or whenever they were supposed to. Like in the morning, there was something that her kids, she had, I felt like she had 5 kids, but there were kids of this grandmother that they had morning chores that had to be done for the family to eat breakfast, stuff like that. They had to get things done. I don't know if it's cows or, I don't know, animals, feeding animals or something like that. So there was things that had to be done in the morning, and it was certain kids' chores to do those things. And the kids knew it, and they respected it. Oh my God, this is a long one. Okay. She said, and again, I'm not trying to piss anyone off. This is what this old and past woman said. She said, and she said this with a lot of love for us mothers in this time and day. She said, you mothers take on responsibility for your kids' happiness, which disempowers the kids and takes away their coping mechanisms. When they do chores they hate, don't like, they are helped with their team, like their guides and angels, and they practice surrendering. So she showed me like her kids doing a chore that they didn't love, but they did it. And the whole act of them having this chore, this responsibility in being part of the family team, and they had to do this chore. Maybe it was freezing cold and they didn't want to get up that morning, but they did it. They did it day in, day out. They didn't like it, but they did it, and it was expected of them. They complied. It wasn't even like compliance. It was just done. It was just there was no questioning, and it was good for them because they fell into this routine and they knew they had to do it. They didn't even know. They weren't even aware that, it's my responsibility. They didn't really get that responsibility piece, but what it ended up doing is building a lot of character, and also, whether they knew it or not, they were connecting to their guides, their angels, their team, their soul, through this work. This, in Reiki you say, today I'll do my work honestly. So basically you're just doing the best they can. They just do it. And they do it honestly with integrity. So it builds integrity. Okay. And she said, kids today are allowed to be on iPads, video games, ... because you moms are distracting yourselves with your own things. And she showed me, I get like into a Netflix show and I'll like watch the next Netflix show while I'm making dinner. Or even laying in bed, sometimes. I binge watched. I love that term. Because, yeah, it is. It's like when you can't stop eating a cake. And then she said other people do like Facebook. So they get distracted doing their own thing. Usually it's another screen that the mother's on. And then we allow our kids to be on a different screen. She says, we didn't have that kind of stuff. We all pulled on the same side of the rope to succeed, and compliance was expected and necessary, and everyone knew it. Okay, and so then she showed me how when the kids saw her doing things like sweeping the floor, making dinner, working in the garden, any kind of cleaning, any kind of cleaning in the house, any kind of and she says too, and she's here now, she says that she didn't have to clean as much because the kids were expected and did clean up after themselves. There just wasn't the time, for what we do. Like I'm constantly picking up after my kids. And my son just took his shorts off and left them right where he took them off today. And she's showing me like that wouldn't have happened in her house. But she's not judging me. She loves me. She's just trying to help. And she, she's very kind, very gentle, very loving, and she loves children so much, and she feels like I'm just an older child. So she has the same love for me that she has for little kids, And then if she can help me with my my household, then my kids are happier, I'm happier, I'm enjoying my life. So they help from the other side in this way. Okay, so when children saw her doing things like sweeping, cooking, cleaning, laundry, that was a big one. When they saw her doing laundry, doing the garden, they have a very deep level of inner respect for what the parents are doing, or how the parents are working. She says it doesn't happen like that when kids see parents on a computer. So and she also said that may change as more souls keep incarnating into life that have gone through lifetimes where they worked on a computer. That might change, but for right now, the kids that are in right now and have been in, up until now too, when they see someone working on a computer, they don't respect it as work. So they're more likely to be disrespectful, because it looks to them like instead of taking care of them, you're playing on a computer. Okay. And she also said to this person, because this person doesn't do that, she said, in disciplinary actions, this was one of the questions that the client asked. I don't remember how exactly she worded it. But her great-grandmother said to say to her son, that's unacceptable, or that is unacceptable, and then give a consequence. You say it one time. So you say it, and then they back talk. I think they sass her. They're sassy. And she says, just look at a point and say, that's unacceptable, go to your room. Or that's unacceptable, you lost the iPad for 2 days or whatever. So that's unacceptable, here's your consequence. And you say it once. And you do it from the first pang so that you can stay loving without resentment. So what's happening to the client is she'll tell her kids, that's enough iPad, in this example, that's enough of the iPad, put it away. They don't. She goes, I told you, put your iPad away, that's enough for the day, go read or something. They don't. Get to the point where now she gets mad and she starts thinking about all the things. I do this and I do that, and you can't even do this one thing. So then it turns into this thing where she wants to tell her kids, you don't do what I say. So it's negative towards them. It's so, and then also she gets resentful. She starts thinking about how much she does for them and blah, blah, blah. And I think I've said it before. If you're a hero or a victim in any of your stories that are playing in your head, that's your ego mind. And so by from the first pang, take away the, iPad time's done. If she goes from the first pang, it says, that's it. No more, iPad's done. You go from the first pang, you expect compliance, and if you don't get compliance, you say, that's unacceptable, here's your consequence. So you do it from the first pang so that she could stay loving and not have any resentment. And what that'll do is it clears up, it keeps her loving towards her children, it keeps her out of resentment, and it keeps her from being a hero and a victim in her head in the stories. Now, as she's making dinner, if she starts telling a story where she's a hero or a victim, or kids are not listening, because I felt like, it was around dinner time, and this is what the grandmother was showing me, this happens all the time. And so what happens is she gets so frustrated with her kids, but she doesn't want to yell at them. But anyway, the stuff going on in her head, resentment, she feels not respected, disappointment, all this negativity and all these stories where she's both a hero and a victim while she's making dinner. And she makes beautiful food, so it looks beautiful, but the energy in the food as she's making it is negative. And it's not good for anybody to eat food with that kind of negative energy. And I said before, when you make when you raise in the coffee making video, when you raise your vibration to joy, and you raise your vibration and you stay in that joy vibration, and your vibration's high, anything you create is going to be like 10 or more times better. So she went from the first pang, said it once, and then if they still disrespect it and they don't follow her rule, you say, that's unacceptable. I take the iPad, go to your room. Now she can go back to making dinner in a positive, loving, peaceful way. And then it keeps her vibration higher. All right, so I hope this helps. See ya.